Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our pre-meeting. We're now in the hand of Ms. Lisa Lambert.
This is a pre-meeting of the Mobile City Council, Tuesday, October 24th. We have approval of minutes from October 17th.
Any issues? Okay, we good.
We have appeals. We have requests for waiver of the noise ordinance on November 12th, 2 p.m. until 4:30 in Cathedral Square. November 18th, 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. on Charleston Street. December 9th, 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. Lions Park. October 29th from 12 p.m. until 6 p.m. on St. Anthony Street. December 31st from 9 p.m. until 1 a.m. on Government Street. February 11th from 12 p.m. until 6 p.m. on St. Anthony. February 13th, 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. on St. Anthony. October 28th, 3 p.m. until 1 a.m. on Harness Way. August the 11th, 8:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. Langen Park Pavilion. And October 28th, 9 p.m. until 12 a.m. on Dolphin Street.
Any issues, Carol, Woods, or Gregory?
The Government Street on New Year's Eve, what's that? Anybody want?
New Year's Eve event at Katie Cox's house for Ryan Murphy.
All right. I had to get in my head, just making sure that it doesn't conflict with what we're trying to do a few blocks up the street. Yes, this one. I'm good.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Ms. Woods?
the one in my district, I mean, I'm fine till 10 o'clock. I'm just trying to think ahead all the calls I'm going to get. So I'm fine till 10, but if that's okay.
Yeah, 3 to 10. Okay. Ms. Gregory, you good? Okay.
Public hearings today is a public hearing to declare the structures at 1957 Pleasant Avenue, 1907 St. Monica Drive, and 401 Claude Harris Drive public nuisances and ordering them demolished.
Mr. David?
Good morning, Mr. President. I have an update for you for your application at 1907 St. Monica Drive. Municipal enforcement has released our list pendants, so we expect a sale. We have a sales contract, so I recommend we table this one to allow the sale to happen.
Okay.
And then I have an update for Ms. Gregory in District 7, the 401 Claude Harris Drive. The gentleman has applied for a permit. We expect he has a contractor signed contract for repairs. We expect the permit to be issued shortly, so we'd like to hold that one over for 30 days for him to get a permit so he can begin repairs.
30 days, okay.
All right. Thank you.
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Charlie McCants providing information on the Gulf Coast Gladiators. Donald Camo informed the council about the Explorium Science Center and Cuba Exhibit Gala. Elizabeth Stevens, National Pedestrian Safety Month. Patricia Law regarding damage to property at 162 South Broad Street. Phil.
This took place before I came back to the office, and she has called me numerous times where I've forwarded her the information or forwarded her to you guys. Can y'all, I don't know where y'all are or what's the reasoning, but she continues to come back asking for some type of either restitution, reprieve, or repayment or something. So I understand that this has had 2 insurance companies look at it, all types of engineers look at it, but she's still coming back. So are y'all prepared to resolve this?
Yes, sir. I'm a new, thank you. I'm a new claims manager that's handling the claim. I've discussed with her several times about selling the claim, offered her, made a settlement offer.
This is Melissa. She's our claims adjuster with OPR.
So I'm managing the claim with her. I spoke with her last on October 12th, 13th. made her an offer. She just gets quiet. She doesn't accept or decline. And then she says she's going to get an attorney. So at that point, I tell her I'm willing to negotiate with her. She can come back, tell me what she's looking for, another amount, but she never comes back with another dollar amount.
Well, as a council member, then if she's gotten an attorney, then all of the correspondence should be from attorney to attorney, correct? And not from her to me.
Well, and at that point, I sent an email and said, I understand that you're going to get an attorney. If you can let your attorney send over the letter of representation, and then we can go ahead and move it to the next level in the process. But every single conversation is she'll get an attorney, but she calls back and doesn't have an attorney
All right,
representative.
but the last statement, I guess, is that this is truly an administrative need and it shouldn't have the council wrapped up in it. So that the attorney should be the city's attorney and her attorney, and there's nothing further the council can do here.
I agree. I agree if she keeps, and she offers the attorney every time. So I agree that we should probably stop and say, hey, once you have an attorney on it, then we can get our attorney, city attorney, to negotiate with them, and then they can go from there.
Okay, thanks.
Please.
Okay. Phil Williams, Vernita Dallas, Latanja Thompson, Alex Lofton, James Jackson Jr., Carrie Williams, Reverend Mark Thompson, Dr. Roger Van Daniel, Betty Martin, Don Remings, Betty Martin, Sylvester Cheatham, Reverend Tony Allgood, Mario Yao, Cephas Johnson, Wanda Johnson are all regarding Jawan Dallas, and Reggie Hill regarding amendments to fiscal year 24 budget pertaining to public safety, housing, and contracting.
About Jawan Dallas, someone forwarded me a video from last night. I don't know, but we might wind up with more than 16 people down here today. So, I mean, I think that we need to kind of all be on our best response. Just making that statement.
Police chief will be here as well to respond.
Well, I mean, I think that we provide a venue to be heard, even though this council can't do anything else other than continue to support whatever caused with the video cameras and ask the legislation to change the laws. But this is a big venue to be heard, and I don't, just based on the videos that somebody sent me from last night's meeting, I don't know what the outcome or pour out of people will be today. But I think there'll be more than the 16 people lined up to speak.
Well,
If they haven't signed up to speak, they can't speak.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is you're gonna have a packed room of people in support of the speakers, I think. That's just me guessing. I'm not sure.
All right, Madam Clerk.
ordinance is held over. 25039, ordinance amending chapter 25 garbage, trash, and litter, the Mobile City Code.
Mr. Wade Carroll.
Go ahead. I can wait on Ben.
I don't think we've got it wrapped up, resolved, all the things worked out. It was put forward by the administration, maybe lay it over to the 14th of November.
Why so late?
Well, there was a schedule sent out.
14.
Gives us the opportunity to have another committee meeting if need be. There's still some edits that, and responses to some of the questions that they'd like to put forward as a result of the last committee meeting. So it's just a suggestion, the 14th.
I'm fine with that. Joel, have you seen anything yet?
I have seen some possible. I've seen some possible language to address the enforceability issue that we raised at the committee meeting. But I haven't seen that. I haven't seen a new draft yet of the entire ordinance.
And what else? So the 14th of November. Okay. Madam Clerk.
64049, rezone property located at 258 North Hamilton Street and 263 North Franklin Street from T4 and T5.1 to T4.
Finally, I'm good with all of that. Let's move forward.
Consent resolutions held over 4914, 4915, 31, declare the structure at 3105 Emily Drive and 400 La Rose Drive public nuisances and ordering them demolished and secured.
Mr. Chairman, I just have an update for both of these locations.
Yes, sir.
We held these over last 60 days for the owners. They did show up and spoke at the public hearings. They requested a long time to get permits and begin repairs. Regretfully, neither location has gotten a permit and begun repairs. So I do request that we move forward with a public nuisance declaration.
Okay.
Have you talked to them since? Have you asked them any questions? Have you checked to see if they had any architectural delays? Have you done any of that?
No, we have not. There's been no communication, both sides.
Would it be prudent just to pick up the telephone and ask to see what happened? Just in case there's something that we don't know about that's out of their control?
Have you seen the structure?
Yeah, I'm just asking.
Mr.
Mr.
Chairman, I do want to remind the council, we had a 60-day holdover, so we're at our hard line now. When municipal enforcement sends out a 45-day compliance notice, we put it on the agenda 50 days into that process. The clock starts when we send that notice, 120 days.
Sometimes people have legitimate issues. A phone call wouldn't hurt us.
And I understand. However, what I do want to bring up, even though it's declared a public nuisance, we still have 3 to 4 months before we go through the process, disconnect utilities, determine who's the contractor is going to be, route the contracts, sign those contracts, and begin the demolition work. So just because it's declared a public nuisance today, we're still 3 to 4 months out, and the owner has time to get that permit and make those repairs.
Yeah, I still hear those 2 people from last week, but I understand. Yeah, I hear. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying a phone call wouldn't hurt.
Madam Clerk.
Resolutions held over 011160, authorized amendment to agreement with Goodwin Mills K Wood Inc. for design and construction observation of the Mobile Police Department mounted unit. 081161, approved purchase order to CDW Government for annual renewal of Riverbed Network Management Software for MIT. 081162, approved purchase order to Ladd Supply Company for building supplies for Government Plaza second floor build out. 211163, authorized contract with Powder Gold Rentals for portable toilets at various city locations. 211164, authorized contract with Tetra Tech for disaster consulting services. 311165, authorized a grant application to the Alabama Department of Economic and Community Affairs for the Land and Water Conservation Fund.
Did we ever find out whether or not Tetra Tech can be on both sides of this?
Which one?
211164 on the QA and QC side. Did we ever figure that
I
out?
think we need to make a correction from what we thought that contract was. Ricky's most knowledgeable to tell you.
Morning, Mr. President, Council.
Morning.
So this contract is not dealing with the debris removal. Tetra Tech would be coming in and working with multiple departments. Their job in this would be going after funding. So they would be looking at the American Rescue. Sorry, thought this was on. FEMA, Restore, DHS, DOT, ALDOT, ALEMA, and ADECA, any of those funds that become available to the city, they would be pursuing those. Then it comes into us and it may go out to resilience, grants management, public works, various departments in the city. So they're going out and trying to find money for us.
So none of these funds would go to disaster debris removal.
Some could.
Well, that puts them on both sides. You can't be on both sides of the same contract.
They wouldn't be on both sides of the contract. All they're doing is working with us to consult and get the funds
Is that ahead of a storm?
ahead of a storm. And if a storm event happens and funds are available, then they're going and pursuing those. What, what Tetra Tech does on the back end of it, they're not actually collecting debris removal, they're doing the
They're monitoring.
monitoring. So the only capacity they serve on the back end is monitoring the work that's being done by the debris removal.
Totally separate contracts. Just has to be the same company. That's why I got confused. Two totally separate issues.
I'm reading. I'll read it. I'll read it. I mean,
Okay.
I'll read it.
All
I'll
right.
have it. I'll hopefully in my head or somebody's help be right before 10:30.
Anyone else? Madam Clerk?
Ordinance is being introduced, 34050, ordinance to amend Chapter 34 licenses and taxation of Mobile City Code.
I haven't had an opportunity really to fully wrap my head around it, so I guess I'll do that in this week.
You saying lay it over?
No, it's
No, it's
first read.
first read.
Oh, okay.
Consent resolutions being introduced, 311166, authorize a grant application to the Alabama Department of Economic and Community Affairs for the fiscal year 24 Edward Byrne Memorial JAG Fund Equipment Grant, no local match. 371167, 1168, 1169, 1170, 1171, 1172 are recommending approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a lounge retail liquor Class 2 package store license to City Life Liquor on Spring Hill Avenue, for issuance of a restaurant retail liquor license to Penton's Bistro on Conti Street, for issuance of a manufacturer's license to Wingman Brewing Company on St. Louis Street, for issuance of a lounge retail liquor Class 1 license to the Cam Lounge on Dolphin Island Parkway, issuance of a lounge retail liquor Class 1 license to D-Spot Ultra Lounge on Highway 90 West, issuance of a retail beer, table wine, off-premises only license to Mobile Gazelle Mart on Government Boulevard.
1170, I'm gonna hold that over for 1 week.
Same with 1171.
1173, 1174, and 1175 are declaring the structures public nuisances and ordering them demolished. I'll take those separately. 1176, name the basketball court on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue, the LC Manzi Basketball Court. 1177, 1178, 1179, 1180, 1181, 1182, 1183, and 1184 are determining appropriations to the Grind Small Business Development Center, LLC, Trinity Gardens Community Civic Club, Revitalize DIP, United Way of Southwest Alabama, Inc., the Mobile Law Enforcement Foundation, Inc., Ebenezer Baptist Church, Cottage Hill, Country Club Village Civic Association, and the Alabama Pecan Festival, Inc., serve a public purpose and authorizing payment. We're adding two, and those they are appointments to the Solid Waste Authority, Freddie Wheeler and Kristen Coates to the Mobile Public Library. These are both from District 6. CIP resolutions being introduced, 08-1185, approved purchase order to Southern Lighting and Traffic Systems for traffic detection system for Navco McVeigh intersection, $28,000.
Mr. President,
Mr. Reynolds?
this purchase order, this is that intersection that I've been clamoring about over the past several weeks or months. I noticed that this is a new purchase order. It looks like it was issued maybe just here recently. Does that mean we're back at the front of the line and we're having to wait another year for this? Or did we find somebody else to buy these lights and signal equipment from?
No, we actually took the detection out of stock and we're just restocking what we purchased. We actually did some survey this week out there at the intersection because we've received a lot of the equipment in and we're gonna start placing calls. So we had some survey done because there's a pipe corner, something like that. It was that southwest corner just in front of that
Mhm.
It comes right away comes to a point, so we want to move them forward there. We should be starting work soon, actually installing poles.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
09-1186, transfer funds from capital project CIP Parks Taylor Park improvements to project grant match holding account to be used as match for the Land and Water Conservation Fund grant, $500,000. Resolutions being introduced, 03-1187, 03-1188, appointing Robert Lasky as Executive Director of Public Safety and Johnny Morris as Chief of Mobile Fire and Rescue Department. 03-1189, 03-1190 are appointing Luckett Robinson to the Mobile Airport Authority and Sidney King to the Mobile Housing Authority. 08-1191, approve purchase order to Stivers Ford for 26 Ford F-150 police package trucks, $1,262,846. 08-1192, approve a change to purchase order to Stivers Ford Lincoln for 49 Ford F-150 police package trucks, $397,782 increase. 08-1193, approve purchase order to Sun South for John Deere tractor for public services, $194,400. 13-1194, authorized change order number 1, Blue Diving and Salvage for 3 Mile Creek dredging project, $491,926.34. 21-1195, authorized contract with E. Cornell Malone Corp. for roof replacement at Hope Community Center, $318,400. 31-1196, accept covenant of purpose, use, and ownership between the city and the U.S. Department of Treasury for Segment 7 of the 3 Mile Creek Greenway Trail. 60, 1197, and 1198 are authorizing settlement agreement, mutual release agreement with the Solid Waste Disposal Authority and release of claims for University of South Alabama. Announcements.
Councilman Reynolds, going back to the CIP resolution 08-1185. Did you want to just let that go today since it's under 50?
Yeah, that would be great. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Thank you for the reminder.
Council,
Mr. President.
Mr. Penn.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to maybe in the month of November set up an entitlement committee meeting regarding ARP funding. I see housing has been a major topic of discussion. I think we need to know exactly where we at, what's going on with the funding, how it's been allocated, any new updates. I know more money is coming down the pipeline, and I think it's very vital to get an update on that. So I would like to get with the administration, Jamie, and see if we can get something set up for the month of November. Also, stated we have a lot of people who are signed up regarding on the presentation to speak to the council regarding MPD from different topics, of course, from the family, the Dallas family, but other video footage. Of course, since our last council meeting, more video footage has came out regarding the incident with a young lady. When I saw the video, I will state this in the council meeting. It was a matter of great concern for me. Law enforcement officers are entrusted with the responsibility to protect and serve the community. And I believe that we have some amazing police officers here in the city of Mobile. And I shouldn't have to always say this. This is always concerning to me that I have to acknowledge that before I make any statement. Because when we're dealing with a particular topic, we shouldn't have to always say that we know that our police officers are doing an amazing job. We have voted to make sure that they have the resources to be successful. I have support in every aspect. But for me to speak on a particular topic, it's nowhere attack at the whole MPD. But I believe that is very vital that we deal with the situations at hand. And we have to understand that any type of force should be proportionate to the situation and necessary to maintain public safety. My concern is that all these videos have been coming out these past couple weeks, and it shows that I stated the first time, policies and procedures. What are we doing? So hopefully today, I know Chief Prime will be here, that he will talk about some of those policies and procedures. Hopefully both situations are under investigation and being thoroughly investigated from the first video, because I know that statements were made that the officer was grabbed, but I wanted to make sure that that video was also, any other video was, seen from the gas station, what led up to it, was all policy and procedures were followed during those times. I think that's very vital to make sure that the community trusts our officers. And because we know the climate of not just the city of Mobile, but the climate of our country, I think it's very vital that if any investigation shows proof that anything was led that wasn't followed properly, that those officers be held accountable, just like any citizen or any person who breaks a law. I think it's vital, and hopefully today Chief Prime will speak and talk about the policies and procedures today, and know that when I also speak about it, if it's in the news or is in the paper or any situation, I support the police officers, but at the same time, I support right. And I shouldn't always have to say that I support the police officers to speak about a particular situation and topic. We're talking about a particular topic. We know all police officers are not doing this type of situation. And I'm not saying it was it need to be investigated. That's my point. I think that sometimes people already just make a decision and say what's right, what's wrong, but hopefully this will be investigated and we'll find out truth in the matter. Thank you, Mr. President.
Ms. Gregory.
To go along with that, I have reached out to Chief Barber to look at scheduling a public safety committee meeting for us out at the training facility. It's something that we discussed last week. So we are looking at a time that we can all get out there and go through this. I think it will be very valuable for all of us to see it. We have a lot of new members who've never been out there. So we'll look at that and coordinating with Lisa to set up the best day and time for all of that. Could be a Tuesday afternoon when we all plan to, be downtown. Okay.
Anyone else? Anything from the administration?
So I just wanted to echo Councilman Penn's sentiments about accountability, and I do believe that should be done. The investigation is ongoing. They are subpoenaing, just for your question, any external cameras from Excel Academy or even at the gas station so that we can look at this thing from every angle that we can. So I just wanted to assure you that is happening. I think they had selected November 17th at 0900 as the training, or to come out to the training facility. Is that not, that's not true? Okay. All right. Well, I'll check on that. But Councilman has expressed an interest, or the council has expressed an interest in what type of training, what future training, as well as what our policy and procedures are. And I think it'll be really good for us to meet at the training facility as soon as we solidify the time and date. One of the other things, it is a pretty good distance from here. If y'all want us to just meet here, I'll arrange for transport. We can do that as well.
Is this out, Sheriff? Does it think too?
It's a metro range, so it's Sheriff's Department, FBI, Mobile PD.
That's out close to where I live.
It's at Big Creek Lake is where it is. And so if y'all need transportation, we'll be glad to provide that as well.
Anyone else? If not, we'll see each other at 10:30.
Hey, Mike. I'm all right. Hey, hang on just a second. Right here, it states that